I am so freaking tired of the rain. I feel bad for saying this because California desperately needs it. We've been in this drought for several years, longer than I've lived here, but I'm so tired of it. I just want to go outside. It's been raining, I feel like, for 2 consecutive weeks. Um, and in the limited time it has not been raining, I have been trapped inside my office at work and not able to appreciate it. So I'm kind of stir crazy. Um, On to my notes. Chamomile tea. I find that very calm. It's not one I drink often, but it's one sometimes where, like, if I'm at the office, that's one of the ones they have there. So I drink that, and I find it very, like, soothing and relaxing. A lot of the time I'll drink holiday teas. Like, there was a winter one last year. I can't remember what it's called, like winter something. Um, and I still have some of that. I still drink that like all this winter too. Because it feels very cozy, and I like cozy things. And um, oh my God, I keep getting notifications. Um, I got an eggnog tea, which is a black tea, so that's a breakfast one. So sometimes I drink that, so that's good too. Um, I also drink a lot of fruity teas. I don't know why I'm listing this right now. I mostly drink herbal tea because tea for me is mostly an evening thing. I drink coffee in the morning, but um, I like that I have uh, herbal type teas or relaxing type teas. This video is so bad already. Holy shit. I am the person who takes pictures at every social function. Like, I don't remember to take videos. There's a difference to me, pictures versus videos. Like, when I was in Paris, my friend was taking videos the whole time. But I don't remember to do that, so I don't do it. But I am the friend who's like, let's take pictures. Let's remember this. Let's have the pictures. And I think part of that is because my memory's so bad, I want to be able to remember things, and pictures jog my memories. But part of it is also I just find it fun. Um, yeah. I'm so distracted right now. It's really hard to make a video, and I just turned it off, but my TV was the like YouTube subscriptions page, and Kate's image was doing the flashing thing where it's like showing you three different stills from the video, not audio, but just like stills, and just like making them go in a circle, and I couldn't think over seeing that. Um Required language classes. I think mine were probably required for like 2 years. I did it for 4. But like you're saying, it's not high quality immersion. It's just American language classes. I could write an essay by my senior year. I probably still could write an essay if I tried really, really, really hard and gave myself 2 hours to do it. But in terms of actually speaking or putting things together really quickly or internalizing what someone has said and turning it into a response, I can't do any of that. So that was not helpful. Also, it's just like you only get so much vocabulary to stick. Like the easy words you use 4,000 times stick for 10 years. But the vast majority of everything else is gone. And it's like, okay, sure. Maybe I like once I hear something and like I might recognize it, but there are a lot where it's just like, oh yeah, maybe I would have known that, you know, 13 years ago when I was in high school. Um, we had French, Spanish, and Italian. I really wish I'd taken Spanish because by far it is the one I've needed the most in my adult life. Um, and as I think I said before, I know more Spanish now than I did French. And if I'd started with any basis in Spanish, I would have been so much better off. Um, the list of Spanish words with no definitions is just like, oh my God, yikes. Because I remember having lists and then being like, you have to either with a paper dictionary or with Google or whatever, write out translations. But if you don't have that dictionary and you don't have access to Google, what the heck are you supposed to be doing? Like how else would you get those definitions? And I feel very grateful that in my adult life and actually all of my childhood that I remember, I have had access to Google Translate, because if you don't have that, it's a very, very different requirement to find a definition of something. So it's like a little bit funny that they thought that would be helpful. Also, the idea of you guys putting on a play in a language you don't understand with words you don't understand sounds chaotic and a little bit funny. Not like making fun of you, but kind of laughing with you since you seemed amused by it in hindsight. I'm sure it was also like a little bit of a train wreck because things like that always are. I remember doing things like that for French, and it was like, yeah, okay, sure. Um, Oh yeah, making videos in the old days on YouTube. I used to shoot for like 4 to 5 minutes a really, really long time ago. And I would edit down and I would edit out whole tangents and I would re-record things to be, instead of 2 minutes, they'd be 30 seconds. And and I was so careful. And then at some point, it just became, I'm not going to put in all of that effort every single week. I can either record a video and post it, or it ain't happening. And I prefer posting something over nothing. So I think this system is better. I did have that editing software, which I told you guys, which I mean, it was like not fancy. It's phone, like $3 software or whatever. Um, Also, yeah, the thinking pauses, which I'm doing in this video, so I know I'm gonna have to edit it down because I keep like, I'll read, I'll give myself 10 seconds of quiet, and then I'll speak. And that's easier to edit, I think, because when you're trying to edit like content and go from like a 2-minute discussion of something to making it a minute long or something, it's harder to get that smooth. But if you're editing out silence, you're going from speaking to speaking on two separate topics, that's much easier. And so I don't find that to be the same daunting task. The 4-color pens, I knew exactly what you meant, and I had the same reaction when I saw this one, and I loved it. Because when she handed me the pen, I was like, oh, it's a pen. And I didn't realize it had the little clip pushy down clicky thingies. And then when I saw that, I had the same reaction. I was like, oh my gosh, childhood memory unlocked, kind of thing. In the last 3 days, I have had 4 in-person social events, which is more than I normally get in like several weeks or a month. So that's a lot. But I was really happy to do it, and I finally feel like I'm me again. I wore a mask because I'm very me. But also one of the events they had us COVID, or 2 of the events, I guess, they had us COVID test in order to go, which was really good because everybody else didn't wear a mask. I still wore one, but I still felt good about the fact that I was like, doing my best, doing the best I can. Brain dead. I'm gonna stop recording now. Okay. Don't forget to be awesome. Oh, John and Green are leaving Twitter, and it's gonna be the end of my brain. And I guess I have to go on TikTok now because they're like 50% of the reason I like Twitter, and I'm genuinely gonna be sad to miss them. So to TikTok I go. Just I don't know. Maybe I like their TikToks, but it's not my favorite app. Anyway, Dear Hank and John is my favorite podcast. I did not get a podcast summary on my Spotify Wrapped because I only listened to 2 podcasts this year, but I wanted to know how many hours I listened to Dear Hank and John, and they didn't tell me, and I was sad because I love that podcast, and I listened to like 3 episodes yesterday alone. Anyway, don't forget to be awesome. See you next week.